Christofferson here again with another first listen review. I just decided that today was a day that I was going to babble about some folk rock, and I chose Visions of Atlantis is what we're talking about today. It's my first listen review on their new album called Pirates II Armada. Another one out on Napalm. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a review on this one because I had already done one on another release that came out on Napalm, Kissin' Dynamite earlier. That one was thought really good, so I decided I'd continue on with the Napalm stuff that came out today. And I like this band, so I was pretty sure I was going to dig this one, and I did. So their last album, just Pirates, I actually really like that album. This band has actually progressed quite a bit, I think. They came out, you know, they're the symphonic metal. They have a lot of, you know, the elements of the bands, and I'm gonna compare them to a couple of the other ones just so people know what I'm talking about, in case they haven't heard them. You know, Nightwish and Within Temptation being a couple of the bigger ones out there, like their earlier stuff. Nightwish and Within Temptation have gone on to develop into other styles of music, which is funny. My opinion on Visions of Atlantis is they came out and they kind of like found their own little niche and into the pirate theme type stuff, and that's actually worked very well for them. And I think over time they've actually kind of developed more into just a symphonic metal band with maybe just more folk elements into it, and have gotten away from the musical themed pirate type stuff. However, lyrically they dove in like head first with that theme, so that's kind of like it's been all along. But I mean, they really are into the whole pirate thing. I didn't, quite honestly, I have not followed the story completely on here. You listen to the lyrics and I get the feel for what the music is and what they're trying to say, but I did not follow this whole story because that's I tend to like just put on the headphones and just kind of like lean back and just like go off into whatever world they're taking me to, and I didn't want to like follow along with the lyrics and like read the story. Even though I listened to this a couple different times, I just didn't find myself wanting to do that. So, but I will say is that this has a lot of peaks and valleys, and while they were singing, the lyrics that they're singing follow the music, you know, perfectly. I know that sounds a little weird to say, but sometimes these bands, certain bands, I'm not going to name any names, but they come up with a cool, you know, musical theme, and then they'll just sing something over the top of it that just maybe doesn't always mesh with it musically. They'll sing about some big bombastic thing happening, and then the music's kind of mellow, or vice versa. So I think they did well with that. The first song on here just kind of like it doesn't start out with a big bang. It kind of like comes in, you know, really, you know, softly. I don't know how else to like phrase that, but it just kind of like kicks in nice and soft, and you got a little flute stuff going on in the background, and then it really kind of gradually builds, and then once we get to the second song, it's just kind of kicks in, and it's almost a sing-along, that one actually. But you know, that's the theme that they're going for, is, you know, there are other bands out there that have the pirate theme. Some of it's a little cheesy. I'm not going to name any bands there, but I got one recently that, man, was it over the top cheese with the pirate stuff. But they don't do that. I actually, you know, like the you know, pirate stories and themes. I enjoy that, and with the way they present it, is it's not cheesy at all. They actually, you know, it doesn't come across that way to me anyway. It comes across as more folky, and I do like, you know, like a little bit of folk mixed in with the symphonic stuff. I just, anything that's a little bit unique and, you know, not following what everybody else is doing. I always like it when bands try that stuff. Like the song "Land of the Free" actually is more old school, like symphonic rock. But when they, you know, move on to like something like "Tonight I'm Alive," that one actually just kind of like, to me, sounds like it's got a little bit different rhythm to it, and almost gives me like a Moroccan type feel to that one, I guess. So they're trying a few different things here, and there's a couple, and then they go back into like a very symphonic, like no rock at all, into a couple of these songs, and like I can't remember even which one it was now. Track 11, it was really very symphonic, not a whole lot of rock going on there at all, which is okay. Track 7 did the same thing here, and that one just kind of like, I don't know, went on a little bit too long. And then there's a little bit of atmosphere that they add in a couple other songs, like Ashes to the Sea. Gives you a little bit of a, it feels like you're on the coast. It gives you a little bit of coastal like type sound effects going on there. So stuff like that, I don't mind. It's kind of like a folky ballad going on there too. And then, songs like Hellfire just kick it up like several notches. They give you like a pipe organ thing going on there, and they have some cannons going on in the background. So even though they do have the pirate thing going on, and it's going along with the storyline, even though like I said I didn't follow it, but lyrically it was following along. With that, songs like Clyde, super heavy. So stuff like that I really dig as well. But when they tread back into something like Magic of the Night, and they get like a strong like folk metal sound there with I don't know what kind of pipes it is that they're using in there, but like I wish I knew more of these instruments a little bit better, but the pipe sound that's like a mini flute or a penny whistle or something like that, but I don't know exactly what it is because I'm not really familiar with those types of instruments. But I think that kind of stuff is cool, and I think Underwater was the other one I was talking about that gets kind of like very orchestral, which I don't mind if it's just a little bit in there. But when I put on a metal, rock album, I really kind of want to hear more of the rock than the symphonicness. I think I said that wrong, but symphonic metal is what I meant to say. I want to hear more of the metal than the symphonic. I like the symphonic in there. I like when bands add a lot of cool orchestration to help build the song bigger. But when the band kind of dips out for 2 entire songs, I could deal without that. One listen through, it's not going to bother me too much. But I think if I was going to put this one on, like my playlist and play it over and over and over again, I would probably maybe not listen to those ones, quite honestly. But other than that, I actually really enjoyed this. Maybe I'll go back and check out what the storyline actually is, because like I said, I did not pay any attention at all. But who knows? Maybe that'll make me want to enjoy it a little bit more. It's one of those albums that actually makes me, and I've said this like a lot, makes me want to go back and check out some of the earlier stuff to make sure I know what I'm talking about in this. But if I remember correctly, that was a little bit more piratey sounding, whereas this doesn't have that sound. It does have a whole lot of the folk element, but I wouldn't attribute that strictly to like being, a pirate type sound. But lyrically, definitely a lot going on in here. But like I said, even lyrically, they don't sing like, they're not like singing stuff like Arg and, me mateys and, bring out the barrel and all that kind of stuff. It's a story with like actual cool lyrics. So don't be turned off by the pirate theme or the pirates, overall tone of the whole thing, because it really doesn't have that musically. It just has that folk rock element going on, which I like. So anyway, that's my kind of quick, not very quick by looking at it here, but my quickish take on the album. And it's one that I would recommend if you're into the style of music and you want to hear just a little bit different than the mainstream symphonic metal bands that are out there, taking over. Give this one a shot. As always, I welcome anybody to comment and mention anything that maybe I have forgotten to mention. And as always, like, share, and subscribe to keep this music alive, because I actually really do enjoy this kind of music, and it's one of those things I would put on, and not while I'm doing housework or anything like that, but put on and just sit back and relax and just kind of escape for a little bit and, kind of go on a journey musically. So anyway, until next time, we will see ya.